everyone, welcome back to Shelf Life Extension. I'm Alexis, and today we're going to be doing the District's book tag. Also, do you like this? I kind of like it. I made that. Yeah, I did. I made that. Yeah, look at me being all artsy and shit. So I was tagged by Victoria over at Sparks Reading. I will link her channel and her video down below, as well as the original, which I can't remember who it was created by at this moment in time, but I will definitely link that down below. Otherwise, there are 13 questions associated with all 13 districts of the Hunger Games franchise, each with a bookish question related to them. So it's gonna go from 1 to 13, and it's gonna be a fun time. District number 1 is luxury. Pick a book with lots of opulence. And this, I chose Deep Midnight by Shannon Drake. I've talked about this book a couple of times on this channel, but I really wanted to pick this because it takes place in Italy during Carnival. And if you don't know what Carnival is, it's pretty much this citywide festival where there's music and costume masquerade parties and just lots of social gatherings. So it takes place during Carnival, and Jordan Riley, who is 23 years old, she's there with her cousins, and she gets to dress up and go to these parties and meet with pretty much Italian royalty and kind of experience the city and what Italy has to offer and all that, and it's a lot of fun and it's super cool. I would totally go to Carnival. That would be so much fun. That's on the bucket list. Now, district number 2, Masonry / weaponry. Pick a book with a great war or conflict. And for this, I chose, yeah, I did it. I'm throwing it back. Look at that. The Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer. I have the really cool Barnes & Noble Classics edition, and I love it. It's so beautiful. I was forced to read the Iliad in 10th grade, I think, for my English class, but that was like my favorite section of that entire year. I was so stoked because, as I've said before, I love Greek mythology and all that stuff, so the Iliad and the Odyssey. If you have not read the Iliad, which, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if you haven't, the Iliad takes place during the Trojan War in ancient Greece, and so it focuses on Helen of Sparta and Paris, Achilles, and all them good stuffs, and of course the gods. So yeah, it's good stuff. District number 3, technology. Pick a book with a technological twist. And for this, I'm choosing Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Now, this is a great book. If you have not read it, it's a retelling of Cinderella, but the girl named Cinder is a cyborg. It's very Firefly-esque in that kind of there's a lot of Chinese, Asian culture incorporated into this futuristic setting and world, but it is a lot of fun. If you haven't checked this out, you definitely should. And district number 4, fishing. Pick a water-based book. And for this, I'm gonna go with Siren by Trisha Rayburn because I haven't talked about it on this channel yet. It's not like amazing, but it is a lot of fun. So it's about this girl named Vanessa who goes to Winter Harbor in Maine on kind of like a summer vacation, and her sister ends up disappearing and later turns up dead. And so Vanessa kind of has to figure out what happened to her sister, what exactly was going on with her sister's life, and kind of how that all pertains to her and the people within Winter Harbor, and it's really cool. Of course, by the title, you find out it has to do with sirens, not necessarily mermaids, but like legit old school sirens in the Greek sense, where it's kind of like their voice mesmerizes and they drag them down to, you know, kill them and whatever. It's a great take on that, so if you're interested, you should definitely check this out. District 5, electricity. Pick a powerful book. And I'm gonna throw back again, and I'm gonna say Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare, because this is one that everybody knows and loves. You know, it's like the epitome of young love and tragedy and, you know, all that young angst, and it's a great story. And of course, everybody knows what this is, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. District number 6, transportation. Pick a book that takes place in multiple locations. Who would I be if I didn't find a way to include Pride and Prejudice into my videos? But if you haven't read Pride and Prejudice, or you haven't seen any of the movie adaptations or even the TV series and stuff, then you would know that in Pride and Prejudice, they go multiple places. They start out in one place. There's a lot of going back and forth between locations and going to different locations and somehow it all coming together, and it's a great, great, great adventure. Except not, I love it. Just whatever. District number 7, lumber. Pick a book with manual labor. Now, This is kind of hard, but I chose to go with Nobody's Princess by Esther Fresner. This is the first book in the Nobody's Princess duology, and I chose this mainly because this story follows Helen of Sparta when she is a child growing up and becoming the woman that would become the face of the Trojan War, you know, and it of course takes place in ancient Greece, so obviously everything back then was manually done. So I figured I would just cop out and do that. District number 8, Textiles. Pick a book with amazing clothes. And for this, I chose Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas because, my lord, one, look at her outfit on this cover, like, hot damn, that is what I want. That is what I want in life. And throughout this book and throughout the series, you get a lot of times and a lot of moments where she is talking about her clothes or talking about like getting clothes, and there's just a lot of that because if you don't know about the series, it starts out with her, she was a slave, you know, she was kept in captivity in like the salt mines, and then of course she gets brought out to live in the palace so then she can get the money and the means to actually buy those clothes for herself, so you kind of enjoy the clothes with her, so yeah. District number 9, Grain. Pick a book where food is hard to come by. And this I chose Everlost by Neil Shusterman. Now this is a fun series. I haven't completed it yet. Lord knows when I'll actually get to it, but I did really enjoy this first book, and it follows 2 kids who end up dying, but their soul lingers in what is called Everlost, which is kind of, again, that overlay that coincides with our own world, and they have to try and get from point A to point B and try and figure out why they're still there, why haven't they moved on, how can they move on, and how exactly Everlost itself works to begin with. And within Everlost, they're spirits, obviously, so they don't need food, but they can still enjoy food, but they can only eat food that passes with those who die with it. So yeah, food is definitely hard to come by. It is a commodity for them. District number 10, Livestock. Pick a book with an animal in it. And for this, I chose The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. Now, to be honest, I haven't read this yet. I started it. I got a couple chapters in, but then I just never continued it. But in this story, Lyra, the main character, is followed by a demon familiar, which is technically kind of called your soul, and they can take the form of any such animal. So yeah, and everybody in this world is followed by their soul demon familiar things, and so there's animals everywhere, and it's super fun. District 11, Agriculture. Pick a book where a character comes to a harsh, gritty reality. And for this, I chose Unwind by Neil Shusterman. This is a crazy, screwed up book in the fact that in this world, should a parent no longer want to take care of their child, or any and all above possibilities of having to do with their child, if they don't want the child anymore, they can do what is called unwinding them. Pretty much they give up their child to the government, and the government's like, cool, we're gonna harvest them and their organs and, you know, obviously give that away to people in need. So, but it follows this kid named Connor who is like 16, I think, and his parents decide to unwind him, and he's like, what the hell? Like, he knows he's a bad, you know, kind of a rotten kid. He's got a bad attitude. He always gets himself in trouble, but he never thought that his parents would legitimately have him unwound. So he has to deal with that. It's pretty crazy. Now, District 12, Mining. Pick a dark and sinister book. Now, I don't have many dark, sinister books, so I'm gonna talk about The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. Now, I'm about halfway through this graphic novel. This is the first volume. I don't even have the other ones, but this is definitely dark. It has a lot of dark themes. There's a lot of murder and blood and death and gore, and it's pretty cool. I actually really enjoy this. I really want to get the rest of the volumes so I could have them and finish this out. If you haven't heard of the Sandman series by Neil Gaiman, it legit follows the Sandman, who is the king of dreams, right? And it follows him after he has been summoned by this really conceited, selfish human into the human realm, and he's stuck there for ages, like forever, following the lifetime of the first man and his son until he can finally be free. Follows him trying to get back to his realm and figure out what happened and kind of get back to being the Sandman again. And it is pretty cool. And last is District 13, The Forgotten District. Pick a book that's underground that not many people know about. seriously, I just want people to read this because I love it. And I think other people would love it. Like, it's great. Just read it, please. Otherwise, that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'll check you guys out next time. See you later. Bye. It seems like my eyes have been transfigured. Oh my god, I'm recording. I am.